Work session for November 4th. Sheriff Eves, could you lead us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you. We'll be with this body and the elected officials as they come together to do business for the county. Give us wisdom and strength to do the business of the people. And watch over everyone and give us safe travels home. Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Here.
Mr. Ledger,
Here.
Mr. McElwain,
Here.
Mr. Beatty, Mr. Dawson,
Here.
Ms. Spicer, Mr. Buckner,
Here.
Mr. Britt,
Here.
Mr. Petty,
Here.
Mr. Williams,
Here.
Mr. Grove,
Here.
Ms. Gray.
Good to see you all tonight. I just want you to notice the clock in the back is correct again. So until middle of March. So let's enjoy the moment. First order of business is the approval of the minutes of October 7th work session. Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 2 is appointments. I'd like to go on and move that on to the December meeting. I haven't been able to work that one out at this point in time. Item number 3 is committee reports. Any committees here to report? Seeing none, our first order of business under new business is quarterly financial reports, all school funds. Board of Education representatives like Dr. Sutherland.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, County Commissioners. These documents were sent to you about a week ago to look over. I'll draw your attention to the general purpose school fund, and I'm going to just hit some highlights that I think you may have had questions regarding. On the 43515 on that first page, you're going to see some people ask about tutoring. You're going to see that the tuition there, the first is out of county, what students pay, extended child care, that's our daycare facilities, then our clinics, and then the TLC is our infant daycares that we have in our schools. Not in all of them, some of them. So if you had any questions in regarding those, on the second page, you may see that a 104% with the 44570 contributions and gifts. We received a Magoosh grant from the Jackson Foundation there, and we participate in the U Trust. So those are donations and it's up there. And so we're very pleased to have that. In line item 46790, other vocations, that is the ISM grant, and you are aware, I'm sure, that it's the Innovative School Model Grant that we received from CTE. That plan that we received has been approved by the State Department. You will see it there. You will also see it on page 3. The 711000722 with the 161%. This is a reimbursement, but we will have an amendment, but we have the money. It's just in different sections that we will have to amend, but the money is there. Are there other questions in regards to the 141 General Purpose Fund? If not, we'll move on to the 142 Federal Projects Fund. I know that you are aware that this fund is federal monies, and in the end, we do break even with this. And so are there questions in regards to this funding body? We will move to the Central Cafeteria Fund. This is our school nutrition. Are there any questions in regarding to this fund? I think the only thing that I highlighted that you may have had questions, we are in November and we have an 88% of what we've spent for maintenance and repairs. And we put about $30,000 in that line item. But as you know, you never know when things break. And so we have had some things, ovens and different things tear up. And so you can see that we are busy either replacing or fixing things there. And then the last funding source you will see is the 177 fund. You will see that we have spent out $494,000. Kind of want to tell you what that's from. We have replaced Dickson County High School lighting at the baseball field. That's around $189,000. Creekwood CTE design fees have come out of that, and Dickson Middle School painting of the outside of the building. And then I signed the contract tomorrow for Creekwood High School soccer lights, and that's a little over $189,000. And I will continue to give you updates there. Questions for me?
I got one.
Yes, sir.
Somebody told me the other day that y'all already accepted a bid and the design on the new CTE building at the Creekwood High School.
Sir.
I thought that when we passed that, there was agreement that Beatty and a couple of people said that you was going to keep us updated and let us see the designs and the bid process on that.
The designs occurred last year for the CTE facility.
Right. We've not heard nothing about it since we voted it down, the best I can tell, when it was a metal building in the parking lot.
It is not a metal building. It actually looks like the facade of the building that's erected there as a school.
Yeah, I understand
It's a
that.
nice facility.
I understand that, but I
Mhm.
believe we all was under the understanding that once we approved it, that y'all was going to bring some kind of design back to us
Uh-huh.
with the bid to kind of show where we was at. So we kind of done it as a good faith to go ahead and put the $15 million out there with the understanding that you was going to keep us updated on the design features and the bid process when it come through. I might be wrong, but I talked to a couple other commissioners that brought it up to me, and that was my understanding. And now that I understand y'all went ahead, done the design process, spent the money, and went ahead with the contract without notifying us, since we went ahead and generously give y'all the money to do it, you generously just cut us out, kind of like the old administration used to do, and say, okay, you approved the money, now it's in our budget, we'll do what we want to. I might be understanding that wrong, but that's the way I see that it's happened.
Okay, well, if that be the case, it's not intentional. Is that how the county commission feels? Is that the body speaking?
It was supposed to come back to us.
Okay. So what we will do, we will show you the designs. The designs have been in conversations for a long time prior to me sitting in the seat. The designs were approved a while back. The bidding process just took place, and we took the lowest bid of a group out of Sumner County. And so that building will come into play a little under $4 million. But it's a wonderful facility. I can bring the designs back with me at the next regular session if you would like to see those. I think it's going to be something very nice that the Charlotte and White Bluff folks are going to really be proud of. And it is not a metal building. It's very nice. I think the consensus were, let's make it look like the building that's there. And that was what was agreed upon prior to me coming into the seat.
I just wanted to say that I don't remember those details. I remember the approving of the 15 million, and then as they were spending it, they were going to update us on what it was for. And then this was a good faith on our part because we wanted to see what they were going to be spending it for, how are they going to use it, if they did it in a manner that we thought was prudent and good with taxpayers' money, then, you know, that was a step forward in how we might do it going forward. But I don't remember being told we were going to get specific details about the building itself, maybe progress reports, but I don't remember that.
Thank you. But I will keep you up to date.
Got one question. How many bids did you have?
4. Well, we had several, but 4 met the qualifications.
And they range from this number to what?
They were all in the ballpark together, but after, Tim Little did the investigation on all of the contracted bids, two had two had everything that was needed to place the bid in. And so we took the,
Range from 3 million to 3.59.
okay, 3 million to 3.59 in that range.
So it sounded like you did. I mean, it wasn't just a one company thing. You did have other bids and they were all within.
Yes,
Uh,
if you can see this, I'll pass this around for you all to look at. And I can bring a copy of that as well.
that is a concern. I mean, in the past, I think we have been kind of under the assumption, left it up to the director to make that decision. And sometimes it did just come up maybe one bid on it or something, but it looks like an effort it was made that you had more than one bid to look at and determine the outcome of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Other questions?
Not for you tonight is this is approval to move the financials onto the regular session is what the motion will be on this. Do you have any other questions for Dr. Sutherland? Thank you, Dr. Sutherland. At this time too, it's not on your agenda, but I'd like to add, we inadvertently left off Mr. Hall's numbers. This is the financials for the quarter. We'd like to add those. Mr. Hall, please.
Thank you. This will be the quarterly reports for all our funds except for the schools that were just covered. I've gone through all these funds here for 101 through 172 through all the departments and that type thing, and they're all well within the area that I consider safe for ending September 30th. And the type of thing you'll see if you go through these here, you'll see that property taxes haven't been collected. They don't start until October, so you won't see any of that type thing. Interest income is exceeding what we budgeted already, so those types of funds are still coming in at a higher rate, probably still for the schools too, I'd say. I haven't looked at theirs, but interest income is really high collection rate right now also. One thing I did notice in the fund 101, our general fund, DGA grant, which is a health department grant. Well, I noticed today, and I got with Miss Whitaker, we haven't collected any reimbursements yet for the first 3 months of the year. She's looking into that for us. That's kind of unusual unless we're coding it somewhere incorrectly. So I have her on that. But all the departments are within the 25% range. It may be 21 or 2 up to like 28 or 29, but everybody's pretty close. And I looked through all the funds and they're all within that type of range. But yeah, if you get to looking at them, where's the property tax? That's not being collected at this time period, July through September. And we also had a meeting with the sheriff's department staff and on a quarterly basis, and we were all well satisfied. And the mayor may want to add something to that, but we were really satisfied with their numbers also. Sheriff and them did a really good job. So.
Any questions from Mr. Hall? Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Thank you.
Most you're looking for is going to combine these is to move all these financial schools and the general fund, the regular funds onto our regular session. So open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Brett, second by Commissioner Ledger. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 2 is holiday schedule. I think that's been laid upon your desk over there. These are the standard 12 holidays that county government's had since as long as I've been around on this. So we're asking to get these approved. As you recall, last year on the second page, there's I believe we have 8 dates that are 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 dates that are listed. These are other important dates in Dickson County history. They're not days off or paid holidays, but those are dates we recognize as a county, and we're putting on our Facebook page, which includes St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, the date the state of Tennessee is created, Father's Day, Juneteenth, Columbus and Indigenous People Day, the day Dickson County is created, and the Native American Heritage Day. And we just have those days a special note along with the holidays. Yes, Commissioner.
These holidays are in coordination with the school and all our like highway department, everybody.
I don't know about the schools.
Are we all on the same?
Yeah, all of our departments, now schools are on theirs on the different deal. I'm not sure theirs, but these are the standards that we do with highway department, sanitation, any department that's under the commissions and my umbrella.
Thank you.
There's no questions. Other questions, I open the floor for motion to send these on a regular session. Thank you, Commissioner Simpkins, Commissioner McElwain. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 3 is landfill tipping fee. We have Mr. Kirk Vandervoort here for us tonight, the attorney for the sanitation board. Thank you.
Mayor Commission, come before you on behalf of the Sanitation Board, requesting that the county increase the tipping fees that are currently charged. And that increased request is based on the increase of operation and maintenance that's occurring at the sanitation facility, the waste management facility there on Eno Road. Specifically, the tipping fees, they're the fees that you pay when you go across those scales, but the fees are associated with the operation and maintenance and transportation and disposal, mainly of commercial and industrial waste that is hauled to our transfer station there on Eno Road. The activities there, as I mentioned, they involve the scaling when on arrival, the labor to manage those trucks, the pack them, the tarp, the trailers, and the staging and the hauling is what a lot of that's involved there. Those operating procedures require, again, constant maintenance and operation. So it's a constant ongoing cost. Since COVID, of course, that was in 2020, fees increased, cost increased for all of that. And since 2022, they have gone up even more. So the sanitation board reviewed the surrounding counties. They reviewed other comparable size counties and looked at their tipping fees, and the fees that are being requested are comparable to those surrounding counties. I had placed at your all's desk and handed out a resolution that was passed by the sanitation board. And on the back of that is reflective of the fees that are being requested. You can see the current status of those fees that involve the trash, the demo, the brush, the animals, disposal, and tires. The animal disposal and tires are not being requested to be increased. It's the trash, the demo, and the brush that's being requested. Again, those are all fees that are comparable to the surrounding counties. And based on that, the sanitation board feels and is requesting that you all approve these fees. And we're asking that you move it on to the next, to your next regular session for that purpose. And I'll entertain any questions.
I think Mr. Van Voort and it's done a very good job. And I just want to reiterate, this is not the $10 fee. This is commercial tipping fees is what we're talking about. Floor's up for any questions. Yes.
What he will bring in, it's anticipated, as I understand, right now, it's going to increase the solid, let's see, look at my numbers real quick here. 28% for a certain part of the fee, I believe the trash and the demo, and then the demolition, the demolition will increase 53%. So to give you an exact number, Mr. McElwain, I can't tell you that, but I can certainly bring that back to you in a regular session. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. It is, but it's gonna, one thing they looked at, you know, if we are, well, first off, our county does not accept out of county waste. So if we're a county that has a lot lower fees than other counties, we don't accept out of county waste, but there has been times that folks have tried to bring it in. So we want to remain and be comparable to those other counties for that purpose, and obviously for the reason it's being requested because of those operational costs have increased.
Well, some of the issue is you are trying to discourage out of county waste, and it's as good of a job as our staff does and are out there. They're quite creative on driver's license and tags and reasons where they're working. And the problem therein lies is that we are taking a lot more trash, and I can't give you the exact number, but in 10 years, we have roughly doubled the amount of waste we're taking in, but we have not had that increase in population. We're taking other people's waste and having to process it, and it's causing wear and tear on our equipment. We'd like a lot of folks that are coming from Cheatham and Williamson County, stay in their county and dispose of the waste there, but it's worth the trip for some of them now to haul their stuff 45 minutes, an hour away and make it our problem. And then when you get into the deal, and I'm about to go down a rabbit hole, but I'll stop after this. We have to recycle a certain percentage of our waste, and 25% of it. And as the volume goes up, the percentage stays the same, but the volume we have to work to recycle, and that becomes more and more difficult. So it causes a ripple effect. So yes, we are trying to increase the fees, or we keep it off of the regular consumer, but at the same time, we won't discourage taking in any more waste than just what comes from our community. Commissioner Spicer, you had a question.
It's gonna be like people that have their trash pickup service.
Yes, it will impact those. And by the way, those folks, normal residents that bring their waste out there and they're not handling it through the sanitation fee, which handles the convenience centers. If it's 500 pounds or less, they're not charged.
Service at my area, he calls me regularly. He thinks we should pay him. He's giving us a service for picking up trash. Pay for it. So I'll get a call.
We have an exclusion for our in-county tree surgeons and whatever it's hauling that, because that's going on for them too.
Yes, sir.
So then
Mr. Dawson,
the
it
tree
will.
work will be the same thing. So,
Yes, sir.
I mean, I can see where they're out of town or whatever, but we think we ought to make some kind of revision for, for the in-county. I mean,
The sanitation board has looked at it. You got three good members and they've looked at it and they recommended that it be increased overall because you got an overall increase of operation. And it's just been that way. And they tried to do it about every 3 to 5 years, as I understand, but this has just been necessitated by the overall.
and when did we start having to recycle 25% of our waste? When did that come about?
It's a year before I got here. I'd be glad
We had
to
do 25% of our.
be glad to get you the TDEC information on that. It's something that's and again, Mr. Vandenberg, I don't know if you're an operational point, but I'd be glad to get you information on it.
Well, explain to me what recycling is.
Well, I'll be glad to cover that with you, but I don't know if it'll cover in this, what they're asking for right now. But any waste that can be sent back through, such as glass, cardboard, plastics, anything that can be put back into the system and disposed of without us burying or having sent to West Camden landfill.
Well, it could be. I think they got a baler, ain't they? Out there and sell it to the paper mill down there.
You can at times, and that kind of gets into the day-to-day operation of what you can sell because the markets on each of these things come and flow just maybe a lot like the stock market would in commodities. Someday there's a great need and call for it. And then other days it went away. As you recall, the great plastic situation that China did a few years ago when they were taking all the plastics from the United States and they changed that. Well, the value of recycling plastics, it was not there any longer. So it's a complicated deal, and I'm glad I'm not the one trying to figure out how to do that.
Well, so you're telling me we recycling plastic and all now at the landfill?
We attempt
plastic and cardboard and all.
We have recycling bins to do that, but again, it has to be sold in the market whenever the market's available. Like anything, any item you might sell that you're creating or processing, there has to be a market for it. So, again, I can get, Mr. Naif would probably be
Yes.
the better ones to explain that, the chairman of the board, of the sanitation board.
Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to get the information on that, and disseminate it to the commission.
Thank you.
The increase on just the household grade.
So the house, that would be from 54 to 75, so a $21 increase. And again, I can't reiterate enough that we're trying to make it comparable to all the surrounding counties, so we don't have an issue.
Heard Bob say, and he talked to us, that pretty well runs the landfill.
The $10 fee and the commercial tipping fee, and basically, we can get you the exact numbers there in your budget, but basically 2/3 of your revenue comes from $10 fee and 1/3 of revenue comes from commercial tipping.
So this will more than run the landfill then.
Yes, it'll take care. We're not asking for an increase in the $10 fee. In fact, you'll see on the next item, we're looking at doing something more equitable on the $10 fee on people on limited income.
Okay. How much, so we increased this a few years back?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how much we increased it at that time?
Mr. Simpkins, I know it was in 22. I'm not for sure how much that increase was. I don't have those numbers with me. I'll get those numbers.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
So, do the cities pay this or not? The cities that pick up like White Bluff, Dickson. So if they pick up the garbage, are they going to have to be paying this?
My understanding is no, they do not.
Okay.
We take their waste.
And when would this go in effect if we approve it? Is there a set date or would it go in effect that immediately?
It's anticipated to be immediate, but of course you all could say.
I would like to see us entertain that because there's a lot of people that bid jobs that are 3 or 4 months out and they call over there to get, a cost of what the disposal fee will be. And so, I mean, that's a substantial amount. You're talking about a 40 to 80% increase, and somebody's going to bid tearing down a building or a house or clearing a lot or something. I mean, I think we ought to at least give 90 days notice to the people. That would be my recommendation.
You just raised a question there. It makes me think. The cities are not going to have to pay it, okay? All the cities have private haulers. Beside Dickson. I mean, Charlotte, White Bluff have private haulers. We're going to pass this on to the private hauler. So the private hauler is going to increase their pickup to the cities, right?
From my understanding, the private hauler for White Bluff is a contractor to pick up all the citizens of White Bluff, just like the city of Dickson.
Like does White Bluff, does Charlotte too? Same one.
Cumberland Disposal is my understanding that they would have an increase. It would be an increase.
So they're
it's
going
private-
to
they're private
most
industry.
likely pass that along to the city. I mean, for them, it's just like us giving you money. We're going to make it harder on him. So he's going to pay, he's going to raise his rates. So the city's not going to be immune to it.
That's accurate, as I understand it. However, again, we have an operational.
I understand.
We have to have the dollars in order to pay for it. Other questions?
So I would like to make sort of an amendment to this that it would be at least 90 days or set a date so they could post it, I don't know if that needs to be March the 1st or whatever
We have no resolution incorporating this right now because this is just discussion of that, but we can put that in the resolution and unless somebody's objecting from the body, when Mr. Reagan actually writes the resolution, we can place that if 90 days your choice, and that seems to be fair. I'm getting a lot of knowledge. Yes, I think that's fair. Be 90 days from the date of. That wouldn't quite give you 90. So, and again, if we're going to do that, it's passed in November. So you got December, January, February. So you're really talking about the end of February to give you 90 days. So March 1st.
everybody's.
They get nods on that. Okay. We'll have that included then
Yes, sir.
with no objection. So, on that, of course, when the resolution comes, you want to make amendments. It's always available for you to do that during the meeting if you have no other questions or information. Open the floor for motion to sit on regular session. Motion by Commissioner Spicer, second by Commissioner Ledger. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 4, solid waste fee to match property tax relief. Commissioner Britt brought to our attention a couple of months ago. That's really something that's just passed by. When this was set up, the $10 fee, the exception was made in the resolution on people that were on tax relief to pay a lesser amount, which is still in place. But the thing that's not occurred over the last 13 years is that figure has never changed to match the property tax relief. It has been increased, I think, from about $23,000 up to $30,000 now. So the ask on that is to give relief to people on limited and fixed incomes, is to have the $10 fee relief match the property tax relief we do through our property taxes. So it's pretty simple on that. And the board asked for that to be done. They're in favor of that. And Commissioner Britt, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Be glad to answer any questions.
Budget for them, how much is going to take away from operating?
We see it to be a negligible amount. It'll make some difference to people on the lower end. We have about 21,000, 22,000 ratepayers. I don't think it affects more than, and again, I'm looking for some eyes that are not here right now, but I think you'll find a negligible amount to be probably no more than a couple of thousand are affected by that. But I can get you the good numbers, have Mr. Lund contact you. And if you don't mind, I'll have him contact you and answer all your questions. He'll be the best source of those.
If I'm not mistaken, it reduces us from $10 to $5.
Right.
It's not that they don't pay anything. It's just, it cuts it in half.
And it just carries that standard. We had not been moving that up with property tax. Now, as the property tax reduction goes, the $10 fee reduction. So we're just trying to cover more folks on the lower end. Open the floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner McElwain, second by Commissioner Buckner. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 5 is agreement between Greater National Regional Council and the county. We received 100% grant for, it was $100,000 to do work for broadband ready communities. Part of the money we're giving to Dickson County High School in Creekwood to do broadband projects there, and other money is being used inside the square in this building. The only difference on this is typically we can sign an agreement, but it's going to take 2 years to do this. And so I can't sign a contract over 2 years. I can only sign a contract for 1 year. So all we're looking for is to get your approval for that contract to be signed, because it's going to take 2 years to complete the work. Thank you, Commissioner Brett. That was second by Commissioner Petty. Any question or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 6 is also the same thing. The State Industrial Access Program is a program that you build state roads with using state money. It's another 100% grant. You're familiar with the Sanker Road is one of the bigger projects that was done with state industrial access money. The work we're asking to apply for now jointly with the city of Dickson is the improvement of Adcock Cemetery Road, which was moved because of the Canterbury site being completed. It'll be 100% grant, but they've changed the rules on this that before we can apply, it requires the legislative body's permission for us to apply for this. So that's what we're looking for, so we can turn in an application to ask for this money. Be glad to answer any questions. Yes, Commissioner Ledger. Thank you, Commissioner Ledger. Second by Commissioner Beatty. Any question or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of vote stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Upon your table, you had a letter that Mr. Hall, the controller letter. Do you mind giving a brief explanation of that?
You got a copy? I had one that I had marked up. This here is just, it's the letter we got from the Division of Local Finance. It's stating that they've received our budget. for the year. There were some things that they said that they wanted better done next time. And some of the stuff is where I went back and forth with them with emails and that type thing. And Miss Greer's up here laughing, but I went back and forth with them on the emails and telephone calls, and they stated it was all okay. But then they send us this right here, and it makes it sound like we didn't do a very good job. So it was kind of one of those things that you kind of go scratch your head on. You're going like, and you have a representative that you talk to up there. If you're in Middle Tennessee, you get assigned a rep or an analyst, that kind of thing. But it just says that they're in receipt of this, that you completed the actions that they've asked you to do, but they say you do better next time. So it kind of, they wanted us to get this out to the commissioners within 45 days. You can read it. If you've got any questions, call me. But the analyst we had, I've talked to him for 2 or 3 years now, and I've always gotten along with him. And there's 3 or 4 people that get involved in this type thing, but you only talk to one guy. So you don't hear, you don't talk to any of the others that are CC'd on this, and they kind of do their signature on this letter also. So, and they, compliance matters and that type thing of the governing body. That's why they want you to get this. You are the governing body. So you can call me anytime, talk to me about this. I can show you, I can send you copies of the files that they get from me and that type thing. But it's just something, it's almost like the CTO 253. We're supposed to let you know that we borrowed the money when you guys approve debt. That's what we're doing here. We sent this to you, give this to you, and we're supposed to talk to you about it. It's no action on a vote or any type thing. But you've received this now, and you can call me and get more discussion with me from it. But yeah, I wasn't really happy with it myself, but I'm not supposed to be happy with these letters from them. So.
Partly said we got 45 days or the budget will not be approved. Is that
Well,
that
that right there part is where we didn't get the schools Fund 177 on there on the appropriation resolution. Then we came back and we amended the 177 for the schools. So we took care of that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the work's been done on this. So it's just a notification.
Completed. And they have formats that they wish you to do this type thing. And then when I talked to Mr. Charlie Lester, my analyst, I said, Charlie, I've done this in this format. Do you want me to send it in the exact format they say? He says, no. He said, you're fine. And then you get this. So it's kind of like y'all are confusing me now. So, but you get the okay from him by phone, and then you get your letter like this. So, but yeah, I mean, next year they're gonna get it in exactly the way they want it. And I'm gonna keep every email they send me. And if that's the way they want it, then that's the way they're gonna get it. But I've been doing this for years with these people, and I've never seen this letter before like this. They really went after us. So, but you can call me. You got your letter, and you can ask me what I did or need to do better. So,
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
you've got your letter.
That's exactly how he explained to me, but he had more adjectives and words than that when he explained to me. So, but it's almost as clear. So, any other business for any of the commissioners? Yes.
So I know a couple of months ago was brought up, I think, about the road speed limits going to 35 and I've just got a road that I've been kind of putting off for a month or two until this gets resolved, and they keep calling me every week, won't know what's going on. So I guess I'm asking, are we moving forward with that or not?
We can't right now, but so if you have a specific road you want to get done, or please tell me and we'll put it on the agenda for next meeting if you want a study done.
It's Sutherland Road.
From which end?
Yeah, they just paved it. Yeah, so it's from Highway 48 all the way to Rock Church Road.
Okay. We will get our good sheriff and the highway department working on that. Commissioner Ledger.
Well, Eno Road from 48 South down past the community center.
How far out? All the way to
all the way.
All the way. Come on, we need another one. Commissioner Gray.
Can you add Johnny Hall Road to that?
I don't know anybody that lives on that road.
It wasn't me that's requested, I swear.
Rusty, if you stay home, that'll be fine.
And we're not going to stop there. We're on a roll. I want a speed limit from everybody in this room now. Even Commissioner Britt, who's completing the city of Dickson. We'll start at the appropriate place. Any others? All right, we'll add those. There's no objection to that. Any other business? Any announcements? I see that we have one here from Commissioner Spicer, I guess. Do you want to announce it?
Is our ham breakfast and trash. Start serving at 7 o'clock until we run out.
Excellent.
That being said, I was commissioned.
I don't even know where that conversation started, and I don't know where it's going, but I'm out of it. I'll let y'all work that out. We appreciate a hardworking county commissioner, so appreciate you being here.
And now, so we're uptown,
You have a what?
about 10 or 12 red lights.
All right.
Yeah, we got one on South Mount Sinai, 2 on East Piney, 1 on North Mount Sinai, and 1 on Double Branch.
That's lit up out there.
It is. Sky's red.
If there's no other announcements, the last one will be the next work session meeting will be on December 2nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the Beaverdale Biddy Reed Junior County Commission Chamber of the Dickson County Administration Building, 4 Court Square, Charlotte, Tennessee. Do I have a motion second adjourn?